All right, last one. The fourth situation where we have a trinomial again, 3 terms, but our a is negative. And so you can see the big negative right here. It's right before the x squared. Our a is negative, so there's an additional step that you have to do. So the most common thing that I saw when we were working on this unit is people ended up doing this step to like every problem. You only do it when your a is negative. And what you have to do is you have to factor out the negative, meaning we have to get rid of this negative. And the way we do that is we're going to put the negative outside of some parentheses. Okay. And like we're literally pulling the negative out of this x squared. Okay. Pulling it out. So what's going to be left is x squared. Okay. And so what you end up having is a situation where you got to do that to every term. Okay. Well, you have plus x. When you pull out a negative, it just switches the sign essentially. So now it's going to be negative x. You have a plus 2, so you're going to have minus 2. Okay. So that is that step. And the way this works is it's the opposite of distributing the negative. Negative times x squared is negative x squared. Negative times negative x is positive x. Negative times negative 2 is positive 2. Okay, so it is the same thing. Now when we go to actually do our a, b, and c, so that was our first step. When we go to do a, b, and c, there we go. We are only going to be focusing on what's inside parentheses. So number 2, and basically from this point on, it's just like what we've been doing. So I'm going to go a little bit fast. So we got 1, negative 1 for B, and C is negative 2. Only looking at what's inside parentheses here. Then we go to step 3, where we're going to do our diamond. Okay, A times C in the top. 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. B in the bottom, negative 1. 2 numbers that multiply to get negative 2, add to get negative 1. Well, this should be easy. Only 2 numbers multiply together to get 2. Some combination of 2 and 1. Which one's got to be negative in order for us to add to get a negative 1? Well, that's going to be a negative 2. Okay, then we go to our fourth step. Okay, we're going to do y equals our equation. Okay, x is going to be on both of those. X minus 2 in this one. X plus 1 in this one because it's positive. And then our last step is going to be the zeros. So you take this one and this one, do x minus 2 equals 0, x plus 1 equals 0. Okay, we're going to do plus 2, x equals 2, minus 1, x equals negative 1. That's a terrible negative 1. You get it. So negative 1. All right, so the only thing here was the beginning. You just had to do that first step, but everything else was the same as most of these. No divide and slide because the a was 1. So we didn't need to do that extra step of the dividing because our a was 1 after we pulled out the negative. So it was just like the second example after this first step. Cool. Go ahead and do the last practice problem. Make sure you got this. You have your final tomorrow. Review this stuff tonight before. Do your best, and then just expect that you're going to have to do some corrections next week to get your grade where you want it to be. But I will be back on Tuesday, and you'll have Ms. Dababne for Monday. She's a great math teacher. She'll be able to help you out with this stuff too if you have questions. Great. See you guys next week.